Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. It is day 38 of 100 days of working out. I just received a Walmart delivery order, so I thought we could do a grocery haul and I would show you what I got today. I got a bunch of tomatoes, some yellow mustard, a couple things of my plant-based sandwich meat, some more peppers, cuties, wheat bread. I got some more tortilla chips. They don't have the ones that I usually get, so I thought I would try these ones out instead. I got 2 egg white containers, and I also decided to get 2 carton of eggs to just try them out and see if the feeling I was getting with eggs has gone away yet. Sometimes I get weird vibes with food, but if I give myself a break from that food for a bit, it goes away and I can eat it again. I got more cottage cheese, some mozzarella cheese. My wife wanted some breakfast meats and some dinner meat, so I got her some pork chops. I'm going to be making more eggs in the oven, so I just bought more spinach so I could add that in there. Sliced cheese for my sandwiches. Plant-based breakfast sausages, 1 red onion. My wife and I are wanting to do an at-home date night. We are gonna make dinner, watch a movie, work on our Halloween blanket. We decided that we wanted to make meatloaf as our dinner. So meatloaf, potatoes, and a veggie. So I got her just regular ground beef, and then I got me my plant-based ground beef. I also got me sweet potatoes. I will only use 1 sweet potato for dinner, and then I just got another one that I could use for breakfast sometime. My wife already has potatoes here, so she just is going to use the potatoes that she has. We got broccoli as our side. We got a white onion to chop in the meatloaf, and then some sour cream. I got a comment in my last video, My Ugly Truth at 400 pounds, and they asked me a question. I thought we could go over their question and I could answer it in this video. So their comment says, your honesty is inspiring. Hearing you talk about your lowest points really hit home. I'd love to hear about what you did on day 1 when you woke up and decided to start living. What was the very first thing did you do to start your journey? And before I answer that question, I want to take you back the day before I started my journey, because it was a very rough day full of lots of binging and just self-pity and feeling so terrible and just worthless and pathetic about myself. I remember ordering out 2 times and they were both binges. I don't remember the first binge, but I do remember the second binge, and I think I remember it because that second binge was, I think, what made my mind finally decide that, okay, something has to change because you can't keep doing this every day for the rest of your life. I want to talk about that binge, so if hearing about large quantities of food triggers you, please skip through this, because I know if I watch people eat a lot of food or talk about a lot of food, it can kind of make me feel icky sometimes, so just skip through it if it makes you uncomfortable. But I ordered from Kneaders, and I felt like, well, because I'm getting a sandwich, then it should be healthy, right? That was my mindset. So what I ordered that day was 2 meals. I got 2 sandwiches, 4 sides of chips. I got a loaf of some type of bread. I think it was like a blueberry or banana, some type of sweet bread. And then I got 2 of their chocolate dome cakes. I don't know what they're called. And then I got a brownie. And I remember it coming to the house after I had already binged that morning, and it was only around like 12 o'clock. So it was bad because I was binging so close to another binge, and it's like my mind just was like in such a terrible place. because I was just eating so much food. And talking about my binges are hard, so it's sometimes hard for me to get these words out because I do feel embarrassed, ashamed, guilty, and it's sometimes hard to just sit with that and just honestly just speak to the camera and just say all of that. It's when it comes out of my mouth, it makes it real, it makes it true, and I don't always share everything. I feel like it is good to share, but sometimes sharing the hard parts is very hard. But I do want to share the hard parts because I feel like not only that it helps me on my journey to continue, but I know that it helps so many others on their journeys as well. So to get back to my binge, I was laying down eating this food. I remember laying on my stomach and I was watching TV and just laying and eating food. And I remember it got to a point where it was just like I felt so sick and I was just so done with eating. I knew that like my body was like, stop, please stop. Like it was telling me you cannot eat any more food. Like my body was just like, I can't take this, and just kept eating. I had this loaf of sweet bread that I was just kept eating, and it was like one of their loaves. So it was like, just like this big loaf. And I remember just laying back and I kept eating it. And I ate almost the whole thing all by myself, including all the other food that I ate that day. It's such a hard thing for me to face how much food I was eating. I knew for a while that things needed to change because I would constantly bring it up to my wife, but then I would just binge again. I would order food again, and it would just keep happening. I felt so empty inside and I felt so hopeless inside, but I realized that day when I was laying down in so much pain from all of the food I just gorged inside of my body, that I never take accountability for the things that I do. And I think that is really what changed everything for me. And as bad as my mindset was, because I was very depressed, I had a tiny mindset change of, instead of blaming everyone else in the world and everything for my problems, I took that accountability and I realized, well, this is me. This is on me. So I've got to figure this out so I can live the life that I want to live and I can be happy, because right now I know I'm not happy. So to answer your question, what did I do on day one to start my journey? And the answer to that is I got out of bed. For the longest time, I could not get out of bed, and it's like my body was just paralyzed because of everything that I was going through. I couldn't get out of bed. The only time that I did get out of bed was to go to the front door to get the food that I ordered to binge on. That food was my coping mechanism. I wasn't dealing with my emotions. I was just eating my emotions. So I got out of my bed, but what did I do? I went from laying in my bed to just sitting on, at the time I had this big brown lazy boy chair. It was so comfortable, but I just went from my bed to the chair and I sat on the chair all day long and I was watching Survivor. As silly as it sounds, but that chair saved me because I was finally out of the bed. The bed is just what haunted me and made me feel this deep, dark depression. So when I took myself out of that area and I put myself in a new area, I felt better. I would have these little mini goals that I started up of getting 2,000 steps. It felt so good that I could accomplish that. And as I was reaching that 2,000 step goal, I was building up my stamina so I could take on more. And while I was sitting in that chair each day, over time, I was able to get more and more steps. I have learned that you can't just snap out of things and then be better. Through my journey, it has been little changes overnight that have gotten me to where I am now. It is later in the day, around 8:30, and my wife and I are heading out on our late night walk. When I get back, I will update you on how my walk went and end of day steps. Even though I finished up the 30-day walking outside challenge, my wife and I have still been going out and going on walks. I feel like going on walks or just exercise in general is a great way to build your relationship and keep it strong, whether it's a romantic relationship, a friend relationship, or just with your family. It really keeps that connection going. And I notice my wife and I, when we want to talk about something deep, we'll be like, let's save it for our walks, because we always have our deep conversations while we're on our walks, and it's just something we've started doing and I love it. We just got back. I walked for 35 minutes and got around 3,600 steps. I ended the night around 8,200 steps, so I hit my step goal and I am feeling good. As always, thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. Remember to stay safe, stay healthy, stay hydrated, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!